The Knicks just made a very quiet move, and quiet Knicks moves are usually the ones that matter most. According to Ian Begley, New York is waiving two-way forward Tosan Evbuomwan today, a 24-year-old Princeton graduate and 50 career NBA games. A guy who's been solid, professional, and reliable whenever his name was called, so the question immediately becomes why now, and more importantly, what's next? Because Knicks fans are not wrong to ask whether this is a precursor move to a trade or the beginning of a Dink Pate promotion from the G League. Let's break it all down. So first comes the context. The Knicks currently have 3 two-way spots. Those spots are valuable, especially for a front office that prioritizes development, flexibility, and trade optionality. Evbuomwan was not struggling, he was not unplayable, and he was not a locker room issue. So when a player like that is waived mid-season, it usually means direction, not disappointment. So this was not really about Tosan, this was more about what the Knicks need next. Let's start with the obvious fan favorite angle, Dink Pate. 19 years old, averaging around 16 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists in the G League, high usage, confident pull-up shooting, and most importantly, a skill set that the Knicks do not have much of right now. A big, creative ball handler who can score off the bounce and be aggressive going into the paint. If the Knicks want to reward internal development, this move makes perfect sense, especially when you consider they've already leaned heavily into Kolek, they've trusted Diawara at times, although not so much recently. They've expanded McCullough's role, and they've openly talked about development being a priority under Mike Brown. Even James Dolan mentioned it. Promoting Dink Pate would be philosophy alignment and not necessarily fan service. And yes, he does need to clean up turnovers. Yes, his efficiency is not perfect yet, but he's 19. This would be about long-term investment and not immediate production. Now let's talk about the other possibility, and this is where it gets interesting. Waiving a two-way player opens flexibility, simplifies roster math, and makes it easier to absorb contracts and clears pathways for minor but meaningful deadline moves. The Knicks have already shown that they're not rushing a blockbuster move, but they are actively evaluating the backup big depth, defensive versatility, and rotation stability during this injury stretch. If a trade is coming, especially a small to medium one, this kind of move usually happens first, not because Evbuomwan is involved, but because flexibility matters. Let's be clear about one thing. This does not mean that the Knicks are blowing it up, the locker room is broken, or that Leon Rose is scrambling. In fact, it's the opposite. This is the move of a front office that knows exactly what it has, knows exactly what it needs, and is not sentimental about roster spots. Evbuomwan did his job, now the Knicks are adjusting to the next phase of the season. That's how serious teams operate. Now zoom out. The Knicks are coming off of a rough defensive stretch, dealing with injuries, recalibrating rotations, and clearly reevaluating priorities internally. Mike Brown has talked about practice time, mental reset, and identity, so roster decisions like this usually follow those conversations. This is not about today, it's about February, March, and who do you trust when games actually matter. So here's the real takeaway. This move does not guarantee a trade, it does not guarantee a Dink Pate call-up necessarily, but it does guarantee intention. The Knicks are making space physically and philosophically for what comes next, and whether that's a young guard getting his shot, or a quiet deadline adjustment, or another internal development bet, one thing is clear, the Knicks are not standing still. But Knicks fans, what do you guys think the Knicks should do with this third open spot that they have right now? Should they sign Dink Pate ASAP, or should they wait for another guy? I personally say bring up Dink Pate right now and see what he has to offer. Give him a few minutes on the court and see what he could do. If you tried it and you still see that he cannot contribute right now on the NBA stage, then you could just keep him and wait until his development progresses. But with that being said, if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that like button and sub to the channel for more Knicks news and updates you will not want to miss all season long. It's been KNYT here, and I'll see you guys in the next one.